Namaste, Star Family. Welcome to this video for our tribe. I have some great information that I want to convey as we are about to embark on a new year. I was gonna say adventure, because it's all an adventure, it's all a journey. And I have some additional information to give you as far as working with the frequencies, because you're part of the tribe, you have access to a bunch of different frequencies that others don't have access to. And part of the information that I've been receiving, especially as now I've been talking about the different systems of astrology, okay? The Western relates more to our physical experience. That is why I've been following it, because a lot of people, when they come for guidance and counsel as far as what has manifested, is very much seen in the Western matrix like astrology. Now, everything is expanding, and with the true sky, the Vedic astrology, we're more relating to the mind. But now there's one layer that is super important. That's the middle of the sandwich, okay? And that's the emotional layer. And this is where you're going to find in your chart this layer connected and weaved around the moon, around when you were born, new moon, full moon, or any other time of the moon. And you have a whole different chart. The way the sacred geometry is placed is the same. That means if you have certain planets together, they're going to still be together, but the zodiac signs, they do change, okay? It might be slight for some people, according again to when they're born around the moon cycle. And sometimes it can be very drastic, okay? I know personally, very different. Born in Western astrology, Scorpio sun. My Draconic sun is Gemini, okay? So how do we find this map, and how do you find like what's your draconic, so what's your emotional sun, moon, and so on and so forth? I'm going to give you just right now a tutorial, and we are going to be wanting to look at this just because this morning I received some even stronger information as far as the power of the heart. We know we're in phases of integration. 2025 is a year 9. There's a lot of completion, and that means we need to gather the full knowledge and spark it from a place of love. Spark it from the electromagnetic field of the heart. And the studies were relating how the heart was 5,000 times more magnetic than your brain, your mind, and 100,000 more electric. And when I saw this, I was like, oh, wow. It just makes sense with everything that I've been working and receiving at this time. There's a lot of downloads with the gates of men and God being activated collectively with the Pluto shift and everything that's going on that we can see is happening. So it is time for me to give you some more instructions to navigate 2025 in terms of energy work. And some of you, you're going to be updated and upgraded to the starseed rise up, and we're going to have some meditations that are going to help you create a medicine wheel around your chart, understanding what are the lessons and processing them, whatever karmic contract are still going on, being able to move them from that emotional layer. Because I've been working with the physical layer and intellectual layer with a bunch of tools that I have for years now. And just recently, I was called to look at that emotional layer, and things have been moving so much faster. Like the guidance of the heart is just tremendous. And it actually makes things synchronize in ways that are truly magical. Okay, so I'm going to jump onto the tutorial so you can at least understand how to find those zodiac placement, because this is going to be important for the rest of this little update and lesson. Look at astro.com, and under the free horoscopes here, you'll go under horoscope drawing and data, and then click on extended chart selection. Okay. Then here you would enter your birth data. We have an example person, and where you find the different type of astrology systems is here. Okay, tropical is Western, sidereal is Vedic slash, true sky, and draconic is draconic is your more emotional chart. So let's look at what this person in Western astrology would be as a sun sign, for example. Okay, so we have here someone that is a Leo. Okay, just beginning of Leo. So Leo sun placement. Now, when you're working with your emotional layer, and it's, you see here, lunar node 0 degree Aries, so it's kind of weaved around the lunar node, then this person's sun becomes Aries. So this is, you see, the placement of the planets are the same, but the zodiac signs change. So there's different dynamics that are going on. Now, this is quite different. I've seen some people that have very close or even sometimes the same zodiac sign, and know that means that your emotional layer and your physical layer are super intertwined. And people that I've seen with those layers, they're, it's almost like they can't help but feel what they feel, and it's really affecting their reality. I actually know a couple of people like that. And as empaths, they really had to work very strongly to understand this type of power. Okay, but whatever is the case, this is important to know, especially as we are now getting into this year 9, a year of completion and transition, where I really want to highlight working with that layer of body, releasing what needs to be releasing, and learning from what needs to be learned, and also work with that electromagnetic field in terms of attracting what is meant for your higher calling and purpose. All right, so that's all for this little tutorial. So now that you know how to find your draconic chart, okay, you're going to be able to look at all the zodiac placement for each planet, okay? The planets are related to your chakras, and that means how the energy is moving and running through you. And especially for the ones that know about this through personal sessions or following me for a while, because I often say it, any planets are in retrograde, there's an unfinished message, lesson that you're meant to gather in this lifetime. It doesn't matter if you have more or just one, it's your soul that knows how it's meant to be weaved into for you to have that higher awareness, consciousness to go towards your higher purpose. Okay, so I'm going to give a quick reminder, because I've talked about it, but I haven't published officially anything as far as the association of the planets with the chakra. If you work with awakening the stars within, which is going to be major for this year, okay, some of you worked with this through personal guidance and sessions, but now I'm giving it to all our star family as a guidance and really a call to start doing and addressing this type of work as far as activating our kundalini, our life force. The association of each planet with the chakra in the awakening the stars within, you have, for example, Saturn, you have root chakra healing. Okay, so I'm going to just cover it just one more time for the ones that want to take note. And the root chakra, we have a Saturn and we have Uranus. Okay, then when we move to the second chakra, which is the sacral, we have Jupiter and we have Neptune. When you're moving to the solar plexus, you have Mars and you have Pluto. When you're moving into the heart, you only have, which is a big one, Venus. When you move into your throat, you have Mercury. And when you move to your third eye, you have the sun and the moon. There is no planet associated to the crown, as when you work with the concept of planets with your kundalini, which is your life force, it's like the essence of a plant. You're activating, 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 and it leads you to express yourself and bloom into this flower, because we know the crown has this illustration with a lotus of 1,000 petals. So it's according to how you let this energy move through you that this expression can unfold. And we have seasons every time we go through those death and ego death moments and rebirth. This is almost like a season that closes. It's like just with the season, time for the roses to bloom and then no more, just like all the flowers and everything. So that's kind of what we're going through spiritual awakening. We are being more and more sensitive to the activation of how the cosmos runs through us, which activates us and leads us to express a certain flower essence of ourselves. Okay, so this year in 2025, the ones that are going to be doing the starseed cosmic activation, we're going to go through each planet, and we're going to start, not for a planet, we're going to start with an asteroid, we're going to start with Chiron. This is the Chiron wound. This is where you have the most stored potential for activating your healing powers. You have the solutions, okay? Chiron looks like a reverse key. Whenever I see a key, I think Chiron is speaking through me, okay? This is the key, and here we know that also energetically the heart is the master key, okay? So we're going to work with all those things, and how we're going to work with this is understanding, yes, we're going to address the zodiac, okay, with some of the planet placement and sometimes also the asteroid, okay? But we're going to want to know what mudra, okay, because I give you certain global or just like, staple direction for mudra, which connect you to the chakras. But now I want you to connect with your emotional zodiac placement of that planet. So for example, here we have someone that we saw had a Leo sun, but emotionally their sun is in Aries. So that person, to work with seeing, okay, themselves through the higher lens, okay, how you work with your personality, your ego, your consciousness of yourself, shining the light of awareness, okay, I'm going to give you, and you're going to learn through your hands, the 12 zodiac signs. But you're going to want to use your emotional one, okay? So everything that I'm sharing as far as even the planets and the chakra is going to be listed in the video description, and same for the mudras, okay? So we're going to start with Aries and Taurus, which is the ring finger. So the way you're going to meditate, for example, for this person, she would listen to the sun frequency, and she could here, I don't know. I felt she, maybe it's a she, energy. You're going to always grab with your right hand, okay, because that's the masculine. It's just like grabbing it, to the feminine hand, and you're going to grab your ring finger. So you're going to grab the ring finger. This is Aries and Taurus energy. And when you're going to meditate, you're just going to let it relax. I've done this in bed, which actually was where I had like a major booyah. Major activation after rehearsing so many ways. You can just listen to the frequency lying down before bed and just holding your hand, just like relaxing back. Okay, so that's where we're covering all the zodiac placements. So Aries, Taurus. Okay, then we have Gemini, Cancer. That is the thumb. Okay, all right. Then we have the little finger for Leo, Virgo. And then we have the index finger for Libra, Scorpio. Okay. Then we have the palm, Sagittarius, Capricorn. And then last but not least, Aquarius, Pisces. When I saw this, I was like, of course. The middle finger, okay, for Aquarius, Pisces. And all those holding fingers, okay, are, connection in terms of understanding the pathways of meridians, which is energy lines, acupuncture concepts. And some of you know this is what I work with in terms of my music engineering. I work with the activation of certain meridian lines, acupuncture points, vertebrae, because they're part of activating your Christ consciousness. Okay. So here I'm just giving you some additional guidance to learn how your hands and holding your hands can activate a certain zodiac placement. Now, if you wanted to work with the Western or the Vedic placement, no problem. But the ones that are going to work for the processing of all that this emotional layer wants to resolve. Okay, because that's almost like, when you have like two different parties, that's like the middle. That's the third party that creates triunity. That's the one that has been ignored. The feminine energy, the intuition, the emotion, the shadow, the things we don't know and we don't address. Okay, the ones that are going to do the Starseed Rise Up cosmic sessions, you'll be called to look at the placement according to what is the session we're going to be working with. So first, I'll give announcements for the ones that are doing the cosmic sessions, and those will be live, and that's going to be very exciting. So again, if you are just working with the frequencies, some of you've known me for a while. When we review your chart, you might have, for example, a Mercury retrograde. Mercury is the throat, especially the ones that may have like some issues expressing their truth. Okay. Or you don't even need the retrograde. But some of you, if you have certain chakras that you feel blocked, okay, know that you can work with the planets. Saturn is a great placement to work with the law of attraction, action, reaction. We focus more on like karma, but because it's connected to the root, so it's connected to giving us and bringing us stability, security. So you could work with Saturn, look at your chart, look at your draconic chart and the placement of your Saturn, okay? And according to that zodiac placement, pick your hand gesture and just go and listen to it. Okay, that's something that is very dear that I wanted to share with everyone as far as all levels of our star family here. The ones that feel that they need some support and breath work and tuning forks and a lot of things that, are going to be channeled as we walk this path together. I've been walking this path and doing it, on different layers, I told you, but I was shown this year, 2025, this is a year of the heart. We need to complete all that we've learned with the higher lessons and energy of love. Okay. And that, especially for the ones that are empath, absorb a lot of energy, you'll recognize yourself. But that's something that I wanted to express for all the ones that are supporting me. This is a way for me to support you in return. If you have any questions, you can always email me. I am thematrixoracle@gmail.com. You can comment below, or you can DM on Instagram. Thank you so much for being part of my spiritual journey and quest and allowing me to be part of yours as well. This is such an honor. Namaste.